According to the research center, each adult female paddlefish can hold between 10 to 20 pounds of raw eggs to be made into caviar. Quick but thorough, as always. Nick Kelly, thank you very much.
No problem.
Neighbors say this is not the first time the bird has escaped. That's about all the time we have here tonight. Thanks for joining us on Fox 14 and have a great Saturday night. Appraisal companies say they gave everyone in Pitcher a fair deal. The judge presiding over the case says she will have a decision on the issue soon. Reporting live from Pitcher, Oklahoma, Liz Holliday, KOAM News.
All right, Liz Holliday live. Thanks, Liz.
According to Thomas, he was buying these pills for $5 a pop, and he says he wasn't just buying one. Pittsburgh police investigate an armed robbery at a Pittsburgh convenience store. The incident happened Sunday at the Pit Stop convenience store on South Joplin Street. Debate over Missouri Southern's international mission continues in the capital. I'm Liz Holliday, and I've got that story coming up. Months after the tornado, we get an update of how 2 churches are recovering. According to the Chamber of Commerce, 20 faith-based organizations were impacted by the tornado.
But for now, at least it doesn't look like we're going to have a major problem.
I've never had a white Christmas before.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it could be nice.
It could.
With less than 500 students in the entire school and a capacity of 1,600, the storm shelter has more than enough room for the schools and the surrounding community. Items sold to city, county, or state governments are also exempt, as well as nonprofit organizations. Dow?
It's amazing. I'm certain there are a lot of consumers out there who are completely unaware of this law.
Had no idea.
Liz Holliday. Thanks, Liz.
Thank you. And with 13 casinos in a 30-mile radius of Miami, the Visitors Bureau says that a boost in revenue for them means more visitors coming to town and spending money.
Kind of a bittersweet thing. They've been through this plenty of times, so they know how to do it.
From side and bottom sonar to help from Lakemont volunteer firefighters, the Grand Lake Dam Authority says it is pulling out all of the stops to help find Michael Shane Chapman, who was on the 46,000-acre lake by himself on Sunday.
We just want to make a quick response, because that rescue operation is very critical, as well as gathering information if we're unsuccessful in a rescue. All that information is critical and helps with the recovery.
The GRDA says they will continue to search from dawn till dusk with 4 boats and 2 helicopters. They say they'll continue the search until the missing man is found.
Water temperature, water depth, there's a lot of factors that go into that, as well as the large area that we are searching. So these could be several days. It could turn into, unfortunately, a couple of weeks.
According to the GRDA, it sees about 5 to 8 full-scale rescues such as these every year, and that information is critical to the search. And Chapman's case is no different.
His boat was recovered Monday afternoon about 4:30 just across the lake here from where we're standing near the Bears Den area. So we have reason to believe that he is in the water.
Alberti says the sparse lake population during the winter months and that Chapman was alone on the lake are unfortunate factors in the case, but that the GRDA patrol is well trained and expect a recovery in the near future. In Grove, Oklahoma, Liz Holliday, Fox 14 News. Student body president Abigail Nikens was at a debate tournament when she first noticed the confessional Twitter accounts calling out her fellow students by name, the content of which cannot be repeated.
Definitely was personal information that shouldn't be on a social networking device.
By the time she got home, 5 new accounts had been made. But instead of getting mad, Nikens says she decided to make some tweets of her own.
Webb City High School president feels that you should not judge people based on anything, and you definitely, bullying is never anything that you should accept in a high school.
And whether or not the cyberbullying occurred on campus, the superintendent says if they find out about it and it is affecting students, well then you better believe they're going to investigate.
The person that's involved with this is doing something that's wrong, and we believe that there ought to be a consequence for what they're saying and what they're doing.
But unfortunately, it might not be so easy to track the culprits, according to Webb City Police Chief Carl Francis. He says though IP addresses can be traced, intent of harm must be proven, and issues of slander are saved more for civil courts.
Individuals who are out there making these accounts and throwing this maliciousness around, they want attention. If you just ignore them a lot of times, they'll quit doing it.
Nikens says students have even created a counter account of their own called WB Compliments, posting only positive and not negative comments about students. In Webb City, Missouri, Liz Holliday, Fox 14 News.
It's great to be awarded something like this, but to know that I'm just carrying it. I'm just the caretaker of it for those soldiers that can't.
Staff Sergeant Clinton Romney is one of only 80 living recipients of the Congressional Medal of Honor. President Barack Obama presented him with the award in February for his heroic actions in October of 2009.
Our outpost came under attack by approximately 300 Taliban fighters. We sat in the bottom of a valley. They had the high ground around us.
Isolated with friendly fire miles away, Romney helped his team hold off the enemy and launch a counterfire of their own. Now back on U.S. soil, Romney has gone from the military to safety field for the oil industry. He says it was a pretty easy transition.
To recognize hazardous observations as well as following and mentoring for standard operating procedures. I mean, as an NCL, that is exactly what we did in the Army, and transferring to the safety department, that's exactly what you're doing there.
Romney received a square in the Pittsburgh State University's Veterans Memorial, but the main reason for the visit is to speak with students in the new Environmental and Safety Management program, something their professor hopes hits home.
To protect the employees that they serve. That it requires tenacity, and it requires honesty, and it requires that leadership.
Students we spoke with say they were honored for the opportunity to meet with an American hero, especially someone who has a background in their future career.
It's one in a million opportunity, you know, because most generally you don't find a living recipient. So the opportunity came up, so a lot of people they're very excited.
And despite the honor and national recognition, Romney says at the end of the day, he's just regular old Clint. And he hopes he can show PSU students how to meet the challenges and opportunities that await them head on. In Pittsburgh, Liz Holliday, KOAM News.